Hey everybody, Dan with Pain Free You. So yesterday I did a video on I've abused my body, right? It was really all about injuries. So today I really wanted to clarify a couple thoughts. And again, these are my opinions. I'm open to being wrong, and I love the comments where people will challenge me sometimes. So let me clarify a few things. Today's video is going to be injuries versus aging. All right. And I'm just going to share my take on both of these things. And let's relax first. So, injuries versus aging. So, yesterday's video was really recorded in response to somebody who was interacting with me through some messages talking about how they're a climber, a mountaineer, hiker, and their general perception was, I've really put a lot of wear and tear on my body, and that's why I hurt so much. And, very much geared to believing that their symptoms were a body problem, and they're struggling with the mind-body approach. And so that's where yesterday's video, the intention was. But in response to that, and I guess it's probably a mistitling thing by saying I've abused my body over the years. And I had a couple of people push back and say, our bodies do wear. They do deteriorate, degrade. And it can cause problems. I mean, hip surgeries, knee replacements, these things are big, I'll say, experiences in the world, right? And so, aging. Really, there's a lot of differing opinions here. Yes, the body ages. We all age. We all start getting arthritis. As a matter of fact, the very first x-ray I got in my 30s, they said, yeah, you've got some arthritis in your spine. Fortunately, the doctor said, but I don't think that's what's causing your symptoms. Okay, I was blessed. They didn't give me the nocebo. But in my 30s, I had arthritis in my spine. We all age. Our bodies age. We all have varying degrees of arthritis. We all age. My mom had, 20 years ago, was told her knee had bone on bone. She refused to get surgery. She'd never wanted to do that. She's 87 and a half, going on 88 next month. So almost 88. And she doesn't have knee pain. But she was told 20 years ago she had bone on bone. So yes, her body wore out. Her knees weren't great. But yet, up until she was probably 83, she'd go working in the garden. And so, living in a house with lots of steps. She does have pain, but it's in her thighs. She does have leg pain. It's in her thighs. It's not her knees. Somebody might say, well, it's connected. She doesn't have knee pain to this day. Yet, she's got 20 years of bone on bone. So the body ages. Dr. Sarno, decades ago, spoke about normal abnormalities. At my age, 59, 2/3 of people who have no back pain at all have bulges and herniations at one or multiple levels. And so, aging happens. And look, there are probably times when the joints or the body has degraded or deteriorated enough to warrant physical intervention. And so maybe there are functional problems where joints are no longer supporting the weight. The knees are buckling, the hips are not, the ball is not staying in the socket and are not functionally working. And therefore replacements can and need to happen. And in those cases, people do remarkably well with the surgeries. That doesn't mean everybody who's got pain needs surgery. It means that sometimes exceptions exist where surgery is warranted. But I would venture to say a lot of people who've gotten those surgeries may not have needed them because they may have had a brain perceiving danger. Now, I'm not invalidating all surgeries. There are certainly plenty of them that were warranted. But I've heard tons of stories of people who go, yeah, I got a knee replaced, and then 6 months later, my other one started hurting. Or same thing with hips. I know a 50-something-year-old woman who had a hip replacement already. Had it replaced. That hip is fine. Now all of a sudden she's got crippling pain in the other hip. But upon x-ray, it looks pretty okay. And she's about ready to go for another hip replacement, even though the joint looks okay. There's no notable medical reason for it. So look, the body ages. It always does. But the concept of normal abnormalities is key. And I'm going to really, really encourage everybody to embrace that concept. Aging is not supposed to hurt. Do we wear out? Yeah. Do we wake up with aches and pains? Sure. We're a little more stiff, a little less flexible. But for anybody who's experienced mind-body, TMS, perceived danger pain, wow, that can be extreme. And oftentimes way more intense than normal aging could or would cause. Can we be sore when we wake up in the morning? Maybe a little bit stiff, but not 8 or 9 level pain out of 10 where we can barely move. And it, breaks us into a sweat. And so again, injuries versus aging. I think aging happens, injuries happen, but injuries heal. Aging, I did not insinuate that aging will heal. A mind-body approach will not take a hip joint that's out of whack and fix it. Never insinuated that once. But if you injure yourself, and it's taken care of medically, right? You set the bone, the body will heal. And in the case where perhaps you do have degeneration and, conditions where the joints are no longer functional, supporting weight or what have you, and you do get the replacement or the surgeries, the body will heal from that, and you should be pain-free afterwards, right? So, my belief, and I'm open to being wrong, aging should not hurt to the degree that many of us experience it. Fear and the perception of danger can amplify normal deterioration in the body to the point where it is unbearable. And the more fear and perceived danger we've got, the more intense the symptoms are. When in fact, somebody else can have the identical structure and either no pain or not nearly what we have. So I believe the perception of danger determines the intensity level of the symptoms in all cases, right? And I talk about some stories in the book about a soldier on the battlefield and, the nail through the foot situation. The perception drives the symptoms way more than the physical body issues. So just wanted to clarify that. And I appreciate the folks who pushed back on me because it caused me to rethink how I presented. And I wanted to clarify it further in this video the next day. So folks, I do read your comments. I do take them seriously. And I do give them a lot of thought. So thank you for your feedback and input. And just wanted to clarify. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And if you still have issue with what I'm suggesting, comment below. I'd love to hear your feedback. So anyway, love you folks. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.